Wagwan, Mr. Maps.
Yo, what it diddly do, what it diddly does.
What the hell? What it is, big man? Are you alive and kicking?
I'm alive. Can't complain. We are piloting new software. So, yeah, let's see.
It shall work. We hope.
Inshallah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, guningi guys, guningi. But y'all know what it is. Welcome back.
I like you had to warm up your mind.
Yeah.
You were doing stretches.
Yeah, I had to mentally, do some gymnastics. But you guys, welcome back. It is another episode of 6 Foot Weights, your favorite hour with your favorite cheese boys. My name is Tabo.
And my name is Senna.
And yeah, we are here to do the damn things. I think this one, I'm trying to see what I put in my notes. There's a lot that's been happening. I think we have to start where yo, this is actually insane. So my wife has a wish list, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things on the wish list confuse me. This is not my primary complaint. I'll come to my primary complaint in just a second. But
you're being such a husband right now.
No. There's some things there's some
this
items
is very
here.
Stereotypical.
There are some items here, Mr. Moy, where I say I'm confused.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I may have misled my wife somewhere along the line. I may have lied to this woman because some of the items here, I think they need to be like, if she was dating, Drake, right? If she was dating or married to, rather, I'm gonna say dating. If she was married to, Roger Federer, someone of that ilk. Some of the things on this list make sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
On this wish list. Like, I know if we go wish list per se, right? It's fair game because you are wishing someone would buy you this thing. But I think I take her wish list very seriously, right? So it stresses me out when I can't get something on the wish list. So I like to look at the wish list and be like, oh, you know what? The economy is doing wonderfully. Let me get something for my wife, right?
Yeah.
But then it stresses me out if I then see something where it's just like the economy has to be, you know what I mean? Twerking, not doing wonderfully, but twerking for some of these things to be purchased. Well, I'm like, no, bro, like maybe I somewhere along the line told my wife, like, no, listen, I'm a drug dealer, I'm a criminal. Maybe I said something like that, because clearly, because those are the guys, right? I'm a Yahoo boy. Maybe these are some of the terms that I used when I was shellating her back in the day. Because some things I see here are just like, ma'am, first of all, what Ndebele man is going to buy these things? That's number one. The spirit of Mziligas is never going to allow for the card to swipe for said items. It's just not going to work. But anyway, that's not my complaint. That's just one of those things where I just sit and I'm just like, I don't know, maybe she's projecting, this is like a wish list in perpetuity. No, don't worry. As your money is you know what I mean? Like maybe it's one of those.
Can I chime in?
Do
you not think that maybe the wish list is aspirational for you?
Maybe. That's what I'm saying. Like maybe it's
one thing
dynamic.
One thing that marriage has taught me, I think I would have reacted very differently to certain things in my 20s than I do now. So think of a scenario where you need to go buy bedding, Mr. Maposa, right? That's an example.
Yeah.
The things that I prioritized in my life versus the things that my wife prioritizes are very, very different, right? But with good reason. So sometimes she will say it, and even if, we're not able to now, when I can, I have the peace of mind to remember what was on the list. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas I think maybe if I was younger, I wouldn't have appreciated the intention, perhaps. So maybe for her, it's like, no, you must work towards this, Mapos. I'm playing
No, I
devil's
get it.
advocate.
I understand now with this perspective, which maybe it's it's dynamic in that no. If we foresee you having this income, so when you reach this place, this is what is needed. So I understand. I'm just saying, for me, it stresses me out because I want to buy that shit right now. That's my kind of like perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, it is financially, it's a very diverse wish list. There are things that even now I can close my eyes and be like, this one times 10. You know what I mean? So I'm just being fair.
So it's considered.
It's on both. Yeah, it's on both sides.
But then
it's
aspirational. Then as you go, you must know what when you wake up in the morning, your wish list is there as your motivation.
So and then now so what I wanted to complain about, the funny part is on the wish list, right? So you know how like on notes you can share a note, right?
Yeah.
And both people have access to the note. So I get a notification when she's updated. Mrs. Maps has updated, wish list. And I'm like, what is she added now? So the latest update, before it was just
is your initial feeling stress?
Yeah, no, stress. Immediately I have stress about it, right? I click on the update, and then what she's done is, before it was just a normal list, right? Boom, just here's the stuff, here's the links to the stuff. Now she's put the thing on the left where you can click done. So I'm looking at the thing. I got her AirPods, the AirPod Pros, I think a week or two ago. So now the AirPods have a check mark next to them. So really, we're working off a list, bro. Like, I feel like it's back when we were planning the wedding, where there were certain things that were checked off, like, all right, accommodation done, catering done. You know what I mean? We had like a proper checklist of everything that we needed to do. So, baby, my anxiety is high. So please, I think we might need to speak about this one. But yeah, no, that's actually. Oh right, I was looking for my notes. But I will say, your what you said about how being married has changed your perspective on a lot of things. My wife has noticed that as well, which is hilarious. Because there's certain things where, like, maybe me and you will have a conversation, and I'll bring it up with her. I'm like, I was talking to Senna about this, and da. Senna said 1, 2, 3, 4. And she goes, yeah, no, you can tell that Senna is married now because his opinions have changed. I'm just like, how? She's like, yeah, no. Senna, single Senna was a menace. Married
Which
Senna.
Which opinion is this?
Bro, it was, let me even try to remember what we were talking about. I'll ask him. I'll text her and I'll ask her. But she was just like, yeah, no, I can tell with Senna is a married man because this is, you know what I mean? But to be fair, it is true. Like, because now I have you're still very green about some of these things when it comes to like fatherhood, right? So I'll say some stuff, and then like in the group with you, me and Mtogo, the way Mtogo responds versus your response or what you would focus on is very different. Where I can tell, like, okay, this guy's not a dad. That is, and it's just funny, like the perspectives that people have, at the end of the day, where it's just like, why can't you, you know what I mean? Like, you're single, why did you tell her what we had like, and this and that? And it's like, no, bro, I cannot tell her that she's mad. These are not constructive solutions. If I speak to Senna now, Senna can give constructive solutions. Like, no, bro, listen, I know you think you're right, but gunju. Okay, you know what? I get it, because he's speaking from the experience of, obviously, we're not talking about a divorceable offense, right? I'm just emotional about said thing. So how do you de-escalate and get me to the point of resolution? That is the perspective of someone who is in the same, in the same situation as you, right? Your other friends go, bro, like, what do you mean? And it's like, gosh, you know what I mean? Or someone who's not a parent, like, really, why are you sending your kid to an expensive, nursery, or like, whatever these are the things that people will say are. And it's just like, okay, clearly because this is not your thing that you're dealing with, your perspective is, and again, it's not to say it's less valuable perspective. It's just very different perspective.
And because the reality sometimes is very, very different.
Yeah, 100%. Like, remember when we were kids, like my parents would always, say, Angla mal, right? When they quite clearly had money, but I don't have money. But I get it now. You know what I mean? Like, I understand what they meant.
Now. You don't have money.
Yeah, not saying I'm totally broke. I'm just saying that money ain't for you. I don't have. They should have. I think now, as my son grows up, I will add a bit more meat to that bone, right? Where if he goes, Daddy, I need money for this, I'll be like, listen, I'll have money for you. That's at least, it's like he can be annoyed that Daddy doesn't want to give me money. Daddy's not saying there's no money, right? Because in the mind of a grade 2 or a grade 5 or grade 6, it's like, it's very basic. You have money. I see. And back then it was even harder. Now it's easier to lie because obviously we're in a cashless society. Back then, in that Zimbabwe, where my dad is pulling out a wad
to tell us, Mapos.
No, I've told the story before. I didn't understand for the life of me how these niggas would tell me that they didn't have money, but meanwhile they've got. There was a point where my dad's wallet was so fat, and again, I'm not trying to say that he was rich. I'm trying to I paint the picture of Zim at the time. There were times when this nigga has so much money in his wallet. You know the wallet I saw my leg, right? Like the spenity that you can That's how much money this man has.
It's like a little Bible now at that point.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like,
Zimbabwe put us through a lot, man.
Yo, bro, Zim, it was just like these niggas at some point bought a safe. You know what I mean? To put sheets, and it's not even like, you know what I mean? Like if we're in the States, it's like, oh yeah, we have money like that, but it wasn't even really like that. You know what I mean? But like as a kid, when you see some of these things, where you're like, you clearly have money. I just need 2 of those bills, bro. 2 of those bills get me my burger and Coke at the tuck shop. That's really all I'm asking for, and that's what I'm saying. So for me, as a parent, my learned lesson is I will just be like, no, chief, the money, yes, you see money, right? You see me, we're at the mall. Yes, we're going out for dinner. Yes, we're doing these things, but there's no money for you. I think I'll see how that goes. Again, more seasoned parents who are currently going through this now, let me know, how is it going? I'm very curious. We have young or young-ish parents who listen to the pod. I would like to see, but that used to stress me out as a kid. Like, Aslam, what do you mean, doc? Like, you look at
it starts with. I think maybe I like I said, I'm not there yet. But perhaps maybe being honest with children about money from an early age, so they know what it is long term. They also know what it means short term.
What do you mean when you say be honest with them? What would you say to your kids?
I don't know. Like, you start having a conversation about, oh no, we need to save money to make sure we don't run out of food, or we need to save money to make sure we can pay school fees. Those little things, so that awareness is there.
Okay. I mean, you have a nephew that you're very close to, who's at an age where he'll ask some of these questions. Do you think do you think you could explain to him what you've just said to me, and you'd be like, sharp? Or do you think you'd be like, Jack, still?
No, he gets it. No, he gets it. Like, he gets it. We went to get something at the mall the other day. And actively, as we're going from shop to shop looking for this item, we found it expensive in this shop, more expensive in the one shop. And he was like, and he could get the sense that I was making a decision. And I was communicating. I was saying, okay, we can get this one, but I think it's too expensive. Like, okay, let's go try the other shop. And then let's go see if you like the other one, because it's cheaper. And little things like that then you have context from an
But
early
what
age.
about what if you couldn't get the thing? So whatever thing that you're buying, I think it's an easier conversation to be like, you're getting the thing, it's just going to be cheaper.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let's say you wanted a cricket bat, and you're just trying to tell him, "Agla madi cricket bat chill," but he sees Malume buy 4 fresh tires. I'm a mech, 22 inches. How do you explain that to him at that point when he's seeing you do one thing, but your mouth is saying another?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I haven't faced that scenario yet. How would I face it? I'm actually
Because
not
Malume
sure.
has just got money. Malume never does not have money.
No. He's never. Unfortunately, I don't have he doesn't ask. He doesn't ask for a lot of things, which is pretty cool. So that's what I'm saying, which I haven't had that scenario where I've been.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Well, I'll be very excited once you have your own youths, because that's going to be hilarious. Because what I'm learning quickly is that, at least from a toddler stage, these niggas are irrational as fuck. These guys are terrorists, bro. It's the funniest thing, and also the most frustrating thing sometimes, where it's just like, bro, man, toddlers are just the funniest people on earth. It's anyway. We don't have a lot of time today, so I have to keep things moving, unfortunately.
Yes.
I will leave this one here for a second. Oh yes, quick one. Okay, so a point of order. I don't know if it was last week or the week before. We talked about, what was it? Oh yeah, the Siyazama that we got, and we ended up in a rabbit hole of the whole long distance thing and how it's dead and it doesn't work and blah 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 blah. Right. The point of order is for comments that I made where it seemed as if I was saying the relationship at the time was a waste of time. I would like to amend those comments to say, why are you laughing? Don't laugh. I'm trying to be serious. So anyway, before I was rudely interrupted, I was not trying to say that relationship was useless, right? Or I should have. Well, the reason I was saying dead the thing was the hindsight of how it ended, and I just think both parties would have been in a better position had it ended when the being in the same city stopped. So if both parties had walked away at that point, I think both parties would have been better for it. There was value that was generated, the subsequent years in the relationship. However, I don't think it outweighs the damage caused by trying to keep a long distance relationship together when you're just in uni, trying to figure out the rest of your life, right? So to be clear, the relationship was great. The person was very nice. I'm just saying, I would have decided differently. Still standing on my on all 10 of my toes about long distance relationships in general. I'm against them if there is no endpoint in sight, tangible endpoint in sight. Then there is no locusing. Anyway, I hope I've made it clear, good people.
You're so funny, my guy.
I was just, hey, listen, man. We listen. We listen. We listen. We don't judge. So I just wanted to make it. I wanted to make it clear. I just wanted to make it clear so that people don't feel bad and shit like that, because it can. I've been told that I can come off as very mean sometimes, or very flippant. I can hurt people's feelings. So it's never my intent to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't want to do that. So I want to have fun. I want us to laugh, joke, and all that kind of stuff. have a good time.
Yeah.
But we're not in the business of hurting people's feelings. So if
It's
there
also
is moments
saying
where,
just,
it
like,
is.
I
It
don't
is.
think I don't think you necessarily mean it's a waste of time. It's just like you're being maybe clumsy with wording where you would have benefited from saying something like, in the overall scheme of things, maybe we shouldn't have stayed together.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
That was
That
basically
lands
what
a
I
bit
was saying.
softer.
That was what I was saying, guys.
Problem is that I'll touch. You must have the soft touch. You must have the soft touch.
This man is calling me Lukaku on the pod. Are you mad?
You must have finesse Maposa.
Now me, I play like Roberto Carlos, but I'm free kick, one direction, top corner.
Route 1, no.
Route 1, Baba, Route 1. Dush Pogoza, that's how we play.
You must pass around, you must tiki-taka, so that...
there's no tiki-taka.
So that
there's no romance.
Hi.
Anyway, that is the point of order. Good people, don't ever say that we don't listen to feedback. Siyazama. I did have another Siyazama, but I don't know. It's too early. I'll add that to the end of the pod, because we have a listener of the pod who would like to get on a reality show. And so in the back of your mind, just think of potential reality shows that would be, where this person could thrive, potentially, where you can see, a future, because they want to, that's what they want to get into. So anyway, that's a little teaser. Keep that in the back of your mind. What reality show could they feature on where it would be good, and maybe they will even win the prize money, right? What do we have here? Oh, yes. I promised the people that I would watch. I was in my mind, I'm thinking intersections. Interstellar. I have not watched Interstellar yet. However, I will have watched it by not the recording of next week podcast, but the week after, I believe. Although that week I might not be there. Anyway, we'll talk about that. But within the month of July, you guys will receive a review from myself about Interstellar. So it's definitely on the docket. I did watch Sinners. I think you've seen Sinners already, right?
Yeah, I've seen Sinners already.
Oh yes, you went to the movies with your wife.
Yeah,
man, I would give it as a movie, as a standalone movie, I think it's anywhere between, I'd say, an 8 to 8.5 out of 10 as a standalone movie. As a black person watching it, I gave it a 9.5. That's
that's top.
It rocked. No, it rocked. Like I'd seen everything. I'd seen all the critics going, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then I saw the wave of hate where people were like, I've just seen Sinners. What the fuck are you niggas talking about? Blah, 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 blah. So I saw all of that.
I saw someone who
tweets,
likes to be contrarian, I thought I was expecting you to come here. No. Listen. I honestly was. I'm sure everyone else was listening literally expected the same thing.
No. Mina, I'm a very honest man. I don't. If there's no need for me to go against the grain, I will not go against the grain. And I'm pro black, baby.
Yeah.
So I like for black produced or black led things, anything black in general, I root for. That's my default position. I hope it's good. I'll even lie and say that shit is good sometimes, if it needs that type of attention. But in this one, there's no lies necessary. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. It was a really, really, like, the metaphors, like the big ideas in terms of the movie, the small things, like that scene where they mixed the Preacher Boy, the first, when the Bauer item started, right? And things were going well. There was the point where Preacher Boy starts singing, right? And there was that mix where they were saying the music is like a trance, it's into the past and the future. from a music point of view, that shit was insane because they had like the classic and then the the blues, and they had the hip hop beat, and then you know what I mean? Like there was all this shit going on in one beat. And I was like, oh yeah, nah, this is, you know what I mean? I remember that hit me in that moment, like, nah, come on, Ryan Coogler, let's go. Right. And then so certain things creatively where I just said, you know what? And then the whole, again, if you haven't seen Sinners by now, you're probably not going to see it. So I'm pretty sure we can talk about it plainly. The white vampires saying, hey, I want you, we need you, we need your voice, we need your stories. I need, what? Yeah, again, you can make the conclusions that you need to make from there. Right. So it was, I was like, no, this tops, this is wonderful. The chick that Preacher Boy was hitting on. I was like, yeah, no, I see you. I see the vision there. I was like, this makes sense. But again, as Dr. Umar has been preaching to us, Dr. Ifatunde, something, Black Queens forever, Snow Bunnies never. What happened when the bunny got invited in to the Mqimbi? What happened? Next thing, it was a, you know what I mean? Like as I think Dr. Umar might, if he does movie reviews, he needs to review this, for the people. But I will say, it's always a risk when you have actors who play dual roles in one movie. I think Michael B. Jordan killed it as the Smoke and Stack brothers. However, the brother that turned into the vampire was the one that I liked more. So I was kind of annoyed when he got turned or he died, right? That annoyed me because I was hoping it was the other way around, that the one who wears blue was the one who got, but then obviously the one in red is the one who's into the other babe and whatever. So I thought the one in red had a lot more character about him. So I liked him a whole lot more. I don't think the one in blue, I don't know, something about him, he didn't have the swagger. He didn't have the presence of the other brother wearing red. That's, but overall, I know. Yeah.
But I think he was always going to be the protagonist, the one who survived at the end, because I guess he's more likable. In that sense.
Nah, likable. I don't think so, bro. Likable than the other one.
I guess I'm a decent person.
So he was the more practical of the two brothers, right? He was the more focused, I would say, of the two brothers. I think he was the older one, probably, right? At least he had big brother energy. Whereas the other one had a lot more freedom to his character, but yeah, no, it was dope. Like I have not many complaints, one or two nitpick things, but it's not even worth bringing up on the, on a review, right? But it was good.
Okay. No, I enjoyed Sinners. Sinners was I liked the shock, because I told you I don't know what I expected. I think I expected like a slave movie
it started up that way
thing. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then it just boom, it's a horror, but it's a musical, but it's action. It was really, really cool. Really, really cool. What do you think of no, Sheba, I'll ask you this one offline. Is a Preacher Boy? What did you think of him as a character?
I mean, I thought he fit the bill of, what the character needed. I didn't. He didn't particularly stand out to me. The standouts were obviously Michael B. Jordan's characters, the other chick who knew the voodoo stuff, the other black lady, the Asian lady. Yo, what was she doing? She's like, come in, bro. I was like, yo. So the Asian lady stood out, and then also the guy who was playing the piano. I forget his name, but you know what I'm talking about, right? The drunk who was playing the piano.
The drunk guy.
Yeah. The one that he was playing like the harmonica when they first recruited him.
Oh yes, I see him.
And they said we'll give you as much beer as you want, blah blah blah. He stood out as well. So those were the standouts for me. But what are you trying to get at with Preacher Boy?
There's a specific scene that's been trending as a meme.
Which one?
Where he's like, the lady's like, no, but I've been sweating all day, and he's like, he don't mind.
Oh. You know what? I didn't see that scene. I didn't see it until I was scrolling on Twitter. But I think, again, this could be me being completely wrong, because my app store is the UAE one, and the UAE regulates even like movies. There was a movie that came out, maybe it was Deadpool, I can't remember, but there was a movie where there was a kiss, like between, I think, two guys kissed or something like that, or two even girls. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it was very haram, and they cut that scene in the movie for everyone in the UAE. So I'm thinking maybe because I got the Apple Store UAE version of it, because I was like, I didn't see that scene. Maybe I need to scroll and rewatch it again and see. Because when I saw it online, I was like, what? I didn't see that. But anyway, yeah, I know the scene that you're talking about. Well, so what's the what's the internet saying, Mr. Buck?
No, I was just asking you, what did you think of it?
I mean, I think he arrived, bro. He arrived. It's like, hey, listen, man. If this is 1919's Bani Bani, like, look, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, that's how real men are made. Like, if there was no credit to her for being like, hey, bro, I've been sweating. Look, I give that top marks, because there's nothing better than
you're about to say something so wild.
No. You see, because of you and I'm trying to choose my words wisely. But any man or woman who prioritizes hygiene is always going to be a friend of mine, right? So when she said that, I was like, hey, shout out to you. But at the same time, shout out to the homie, because he was like, hey, bro, me, I'm just trying to eat that tan, bro. I mean, like I said, hey, you know, so I from both sides, standing ovation. I want to bring up one show really quickly. I don't know if you've seen it. I doubt you've seen it. But actually, let me not say I doubt, but you might not have seen it. It's called Paradise. Have you watched it yet? It's on Disney Plus.
I have.
Oh, you've seen?
I watched Paradise.
Done, Mr. Boy. This is wonderful.
I have watched Paradise.
What are your? Well, actually, before I ask you what your thoughts are, I need to shout out my wife. I need to thank the baby, because she was watching it on her own. She went solo. Because she asked me, so are you interested in this? And then the problem is the main character, the black guy. My wife watches this show. It's not The Last of Us. It's called something about us. It's like
is it not The Last of Us?
No. Last of Us is different. I like The Last of Us. Oh, This Is Us. I'm pretty sure it's called
This Is Us. Yes.
And every time that man is on screen, he's always crying. So he's crying about some shit. Like, it seems like a very sad show. So because the thing is, so she'll be watching on the TV. I'll just watch on my iPad, because again, married people understand the politics of this. So I'm just, I'm cool sitting on the couch, just watch what I'm watching. But then, you're always like half catching what's going on the TV, right? Because shit is right in front of you. Every single time this pally is chimsing, like something's just happening. So
and his eyes be red.
His eyes be red as shit. He's got that Michael Jordan package, bro, looking like he's an African warlord. But so what?
Nothing.
I said you're being dramatic.
We just spoke about tax.
Oh my god. So okay, you first of all, you set me up. You started with the eyes thing, so you set me up. That's your fault. For leading me down the wrong path.
No, I'll take it. It's my fault.
But
it's my fault.
But anyway, every time I see this man, he's chipsy, right? So then she suggested, "Oh, babe, let's watch this item." I'm like, Jack, if it's got you, yeah, here, me, I don't want to be watching some mopey shit. I'm cool. I'm each. So then she watches the show. She's watching the show. Each episode, she's turning to me on some, yo, you would really love this show. And I'm like, no, it's okay. It's okay. I believe you. I believe you, civilly, but it's, So at the end, probably the fifth, yo, you'd really like this show. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll watch it. Right.
Yeah.
I start watching it and I felt so bad watching it in the first episode because I'm like, damn, she was right. I love this shit. I felt so bad, It's like, man, my bad. So I felt really bad. So anyway, credit to you, babe. You were right. I did love the show. Very, very interesting conceptually. But Mr. Moyo, what were your thoughts?
It was really, really good. So I don't know. I sometimes just go. So my wife and I would just go through like a whole bunch of things on Disney Plus and Netflix just to be like, yeah, let's find a series that we can watch for the next couple of weeks. And then I found Paradise. I'm like, oh, this that guy from This Is Us. Like, oh, let's watch it. It wasn't what I expected because I think when I said it to you, I think I actually even recommended that you watch it. And then I said it gives off 2012, sort of like end of the world type thing. You're like, Senna, it's not really end of the world. I'm like, not really, not at all, but it's different.
Yeah.
It was really, really good. And it shows you what could have happened in 2020 if COVID was very, very serious and wiped us out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the only thing I didn't like at the end was they kind of set it up for a season 2. No, they literally set it up for a season 2. And I think this type of series, this type of story is great. For a 1 season, 8 episode, each episode are like, bah, 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 bah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, yeah, this is tight and it's this is where it needs to be. But I don't trust the showrunners to do a second season. I don't think there's a second season of material in there. It doesn't make sense to me. But
no, I mean, the story.
I didn't notice the music, bro.
No, I mean, so the president, he's got like this 80s playlist, which is got really
okay.
Full hits from Kudala. But that's to say, I don't know what season 2 could be. Maybe when they, I don't know, go to Earth, see what's going. I don't know. Out of quarantine.
It's I don't know. I think this stinks of the creator, the writer had an idea, executed, and then the studio goes, oh, this is fire, you give us a, you know what I mean, like that. I think it smells more of that than this is a genuine 2-season story. But I will say it felt weird. I feel like the president was too good looking. I didn't buy him as the president. He was too much of a good guy in terms of his personality. He was too, like, you know what I mean, playful dude type of, I mean, he did say to his dad that he wanted to be a teacher, right? In one of the scenes, but I just didn't buy him as a president. I was like,
Have you watched Heads of State?
I think so. I don't know. I'd have to see the poster.
No. It just came out.
Okay, so no, then I haven't seen it.
Okay, cool. You should watch that. But I am curious to hear what you think of it after you have. It's got John Cena and Idris Elba.
Oh, is this on Amazon?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the movie. Yes, I saw the trailer. Yes, I remember. I saw the trailer. Is it Idris Elba was the president, right? Or one of the two? Which one is the president? Is it John Cena?
They both are.
Oh, snap. Okay, cool. All right. Cool. Yeah, I'll check it out. It looks, I mean, it's giving, I remember watching the trailer, it was like that buddy cop type energy. So I think I would like it. I don't know if it's a good movie. I remember watching the trailer, I was like, I'm nervous if this is actually a good movie. But,
okay,
it wouldn't be a waste of time.
I think if I give you my thoughts, it might be a spoiler. So go watch it.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, and that is it for the entertainment sports and culture section of the podcast. Oh no, actually, Chelsea Club World Cup final. Like it's just what we do. Winning club, winning culture. Again, I'm hoping we get Real Madrid because I think we could get something out of the game against Madrid. If PSG show up the way they can show up, it might be peak for us. It might be an Inter Milan situation.
But I mean,
so
this is an opportunity.
I don't know.
I think it's an opportunity to create a culture of winning.
True.
Because I think you start off by winning the club, that thingy, that conference league. It's a conference league, but but it's something, right? And then you go, you win the Club World Cup, right? People will criticize, but it's still a trophy. And then you come maybe next year, you win an FA Cup, or you even win the league. You get what I mean? So there's a lot of benefit.
100%.
I'm curious though.
Those young players, they will feed off of that, and once you have the winning culture, because it's also the opposite, right? When you go to a club and the club is perennially losing, it affects you because you create very bad habits when you come from a place where you just lose all the time versus an organization where it's about winning. It's a very different culture.
So I like listening to Talk Sport, but specifically the Simon Jordan segment, only because I think it's the only one that really is not sensationalized. Maybe the morning shows as well. But I think most of it is like
Candy and Jason O'Hara, because they just have
that's fun. Yeah, that's fun. It's honest. That's actually honest, because it's like we're not even trying to hide that we're biased. We're not hiding that we're ridiculous. It's not like someone who's being biased genuine. And then trying to frame it as
you mean Lokuzen. I hate the Darren Bent and Goldstein. Those guys annoy me.
Yeah.
And even the one
not a good watch.
Who's that striker from Watford? What's his name?
Troy Deeney and the guys that a lot of the time
Troy Deeney be pushing agendas and it's just kind of like yes. So I get
but back to
Simon Jordan and the other own, they're dope. I like them.
But they had Danny Murphy once, and he said, culture winning even comes from traveling together. And yet you don't think about those little things. Like, we traveled to the States together in a tournament, and we played for 11 weeks, and we won games. Then next time we go, this is what we do. We don't eat this. We wake up at this time. It makes a difference, dog. And mentality, because sometimes that's what you need.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's good. It'll be interesting to see what happens though with injuries when the season actually starts for these teams.
I think we have the squad for it, to be able to handle that. But what I haven't liked of the coverage is the snobbishness of the European media, where you've had others go, it's a preseason tournament, it's this, it's that, and what about who plays in the US in July and whatever. I'm like, but okay, guys, are you guys going to be saying all of this stuff in a year's time? Because we're going to be right back in this country in a year's time, the same temperatures, the same lightning storms, the same concerns, the same it's a long season. We don't need this, right? I need them to, and I know they wouldn't, but I would like them to have that same energy when the World Cup comes around, talking about player fatigue, player welfare, because the World Cup, this is the year it's expanded, right? If I'm not mistaken. It's more teams that are being included in this World Cup, and it's Mexico and Canada and the US, so more strenuous travel potentially, cross borders and all this other stuff. So I am very curious to see how all of these same guys who are complaining will be, especially about things that are going to be exactly the same in a year's time, how they're going to repackage this into it's the World Cup and all this other stuff. But I haven't liked the coverage personally. I just think it's been very. Europe is not the end all be all.
No, but what have you thought of the Club World Cup itself? As
I think for what it is, it's been great. I would have never dreamed that Mamelodi Sundowns would play Dortmund, right?
Yeah.
Like I would have never dreamed of that scenario. That's a FIFA. That's me and you in grade 7 playing FIFA 06 or whatever, right? That's
Yeah.
literally what it is, right? And remember how excited we got when
Yeah.
FIFA added Pirates and Kaiser Chiefs
Mhm.
to the games. So for me as a lover of football and seeing, a club like Al Hilal beat Manchester City, genuinely, not even like they're locked into it like some of the Argentinian or Brazilian teams where these guys defended for 90 minutes and they stole a win. When I think Botafogo beat
Yeah.
PSG in the group stages, it wasn't that.
Mhm.
They went blow for blow with one of the best teams in Europe and they won. And then
Yeah.
got booted out by Fluminense, right? So from that footballing point of view, I've really loved the tournament. I've been annoyed by the game times. So I don't think America is the right place to have this type of tournament. I think you need a better time zone. But in terms of the idea, the teams it puts together, the matchups, I really, really like it. I kind of wish it was every 2 years rather than 4 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a good opportunity for the world to come together and people to realize that football is not all in Europe. Yes, the money is all in Europe, but the football played in Brazil, played in Africa. It's sad Al Ali didn't get a win. They played all right. They should have beaten Inter Miami, So from that point of view, I've really enjoyed the Club World Cup. It's just, the timings. I wish I had more time to, remember World Cup in Qatar where games were starting like, officiating or two, bruh, and kickoff.
Yeah.
Like that was dope. All the way to like 10
Yeah.
p.m. there was games. So I prefer that type of thing. But other than that, I've liked it. I've it's been good.
Yeah. I haven't watched it much.
How come?
I think a few reasons. I think the execution is poor. I think it wasn't. When I think of trying to do a Club World Cup and how I would have envisaged the tournament just panning out, in my mind, I think they should have, the qualification method that they've used already seemed like it's
Look at you pushing a Manchester United agenda.
It's not even a United agenda. When you get Inter Miami qualified the way they did.
Oh yeah, how did that happen?
Then it's like,
I know it was controversial, but what was their justification?
They won a Mickey Mouse Cup and that was it, and they qualified.
So they won like what, the League Cup of America, something like
that. I think. And then it was like, okay, they've qualified because they wanted Messi there.
Yeah.
So they're trying not to make it a Super League, but if you know FIFA and how they operate, they wanted to compete with the Champions League. So it's like, club football is where real money is, right? The World Cup, because it's FIFA have to wait every 4 years to make money. Then they have to wait for the Euros, and then they have to wait for AFCON, of which AFCON may not even make a lot of money, of which the Euros, you need to pay the federations. The World Cup, they take a lot of money, they make a lot of money, but it's only every 4 years. So they needed something else, and they need to get into club football. Because I think they would have rather done a Super League, where they open it up to Kaizer Chiefs, Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, the biggest clubs in the world, to bring attention to the event, right? And then thereafter, you can have a qualification thing to say, right, we are now imposing a set standard, but maybe your first tournament, you make it clear that it's by invitation. You don't even try to hide it. And then after that, you can then include, okay, qualification, bunch. And then you don't have it in the States, right? You have it maybe in Europe, somewhere in Europe. It doesn't mean Uguti, all the games necessarily have to be there, but you have them in such a way Uguti broadcasters can market and advertise and show the games properly. Because Katesi, it's like, oh, kickoff is at whatever time. And you're like, oh, okay, I didn't even know. And the more I think about sometimes the gulf between the teams, and I think that's the other thing that's underreported. Sundowns is very rich already. all this will do is it'll make them richer in South Africa. Yes, it's good that they've gone to play Dortmund, but when they come back, like if they had gone as far as Chelsea went, and then gotten 100 million pounds, and then they come back to the PSL, dog. Here they can't pay salaries, right? A football club has been lost PSL membership because you can't pay salaries. They couldn't honor fixtures. You rock up a Sundowns, you have 100 million USD.
No, but
you're
the way
going to obliterate
the profit split was that the federations were all getting, so like what is it? So what's the African one? Just CAF? What is it called? It's CAF, right?
It's
the
CAF.
African Federation.
It's CAF.
CAF. So CAF would have gotten sheets, and the PSL would have gotten sheets as well. Like as in the league itself, it would have gotten, obviously the majority goes to Sundowns, but
Sundowns would have,
they had a trickle down, mechanism. I don't know how effective it would have been, but
I don't know how it would work. So from Chelsea's 100 whatever million that they get, that there's a trickle down to a Brighton or Bournemouth.
No, I think there's additional money somewhere else. So the prize money for the club is the prize money for the club, right? But out of the whole, because the whole pot was $1 billion, is what it was, right? And then distributed through the clubs, an additional part of that billion is going to the federations and that league as well to grow grassroots football. So by Chelsea going all this way, it's actually benefiting the Premier League. I mean, to a small extent, because the Premier League is rich, right? So it's not really like the Premier League needs it. But, like the Auckland City FC, whatever, like those type of clubs, the couple million they made, huge, absolutely huge for that club and that league, at the end of the day. So there was, I'll look into it, but there was a way that they had set up the maths that teams are benefiting.
Okay. I hope so. But those were my three things, because naturally as a Man United fan, I had no interest in it. Yeah. And then you have you have Man United, Barcelona, Arsenal, Liverpool. I mean, those are four of the biggest clubs in the world, dog. Like you're intentionally creating a Club World Cup to bring as many eyes to
but
club
United
football as possible.
No,
it
was by
the
group stage, to be very honest with you, bro.
No, but it's just I'm just saying, because I think they were now look at how much tickets were going on sale for in the beginning, right? Yeah, people were buying tickets for $400, $350, whatever, $500. Now they've been given away because there was just no
tickets
interest.
As well as like 10 pounds and stuff like that, which to me, and if I'm FIFA, I'm like, bro, going to it's in America. What do you expect? They thought they were the NFL. That's where I would criticize them, right? To be then that was very dumb.
But it might be embarrassing if now these teams go on preseason tours and they fill up stadiums.
But that will happen. Like, look, like you said, execution. I'm with you on that, right? I think part of this also feels like it was a test run for the World Cup to iron out some logistical kinks from the World Cup for next year. Part of me believes that. But I think this tournament would be absolutely fantastic in the Gulf, not even Europe, in the Gulf. A UAE, Qatar, a Saudi, absolutely fantastic if that happened here. The only problem is our weather in the summer is atrocious. That's the only problem. Yeah, well, but if they could do like a Qatar and do it in December type thing,
do you know where they should do it? South Africa.
I thought of that as well. I thought of that. That would be cool.
From a infrastructure and time zone perspective, because remember the cricket. Yes, it's the perfect time.
Do you think
this is actually the perfect time? They would, they would, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, they definitely sell out. So what I've realized is South Africa is just so, in terms of just where it is strategically, geographically, in time zone and just location, it's easy to access for so many people. And whenever people talk about the World Cup, they're always like, oh yeah, no, it was at the right time of the year for the Europeans as well, because Bonavele, they play at weird temperatures. And we play football in winter.
It's winter,
anyways.
It would have been good. Yeah, for them, if they're playing a game and it's 10 degrees, with the sun out, for example, even 15 degrees. We normally, midday, especially if you're talking about the Joburgs of the world, it's 20 degrees, right? By 12 o'clock. So it's to play football, to be running around and the air is dry. Oh, yes, absolutely. Because for them, it's like, December-ish or even October in Europe, right? Those are the temperatures that they'd be seeing. So I get it from a football point of view. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't be mad if they put it in SA. I think it's a great, for me, I don't want this. I saw a lot of, what I was most disappointed by was non-Europeans who were caping for European mentality, being like, oh, the European teams, oh, they're so tired, all this other shit. I'm like, bro, football does not die and start in Europe. It's much bigger than that.
I had no sympathy for Iloko Zenini. Labababeti, oh no, player fatigue, and I think we spoke about was it last year, where I said these guys, when they're negotiating contracts, the amount of money that they ask for, from these football clubs, and it's the clubs that get into the deal with FIFA. The clubs are the ones that say, okay, we want to play in the tournament because they want the money, and the clubs want the money because they need to pay the players and the agents.
Yes,
because
80% of the expenses are wages.
Yeah, but like, what do you mean, bro?
Wages. Yeah,
play. Like some of the money is involved. Haaland is on is it 500,000? No, not 500,000, but it's an insane amount of money at Man City. Yeah. Including the back end that they did with his people for his contract, because apparently he moved for 50 million, even though we know it was much, much more than that. This is why a football club needs to go into these tournaments and play for 100 million, because it solves problems.
I think if they put it in SA, they put it in the Gulf, even Asia, I think those games would sell out. Put that shit in China, shit will sell out, right? Like it's a lot of places that you could put. I think America is just for football. It's not the place.
I think Australia,
so I wasn't surprised. Work. I don't know about Australia, to be honest, because now we're having the same time zone issue. We have the same time zone issue.
Oh no, yeah, we would have the same time zone issue.
Yeah, it's as bad as America.
We'd be back.
That would be the only difficulty. But I think, I mean, for the first round, look, I enjoyed it personally, and I watched games that had nothing to do with Chelsea, just because for me, as a person who played FIFA for so many years and still plays it, this was the dream. This is it, right? This is like the matchups, the different, like the Brazilian clubs. I didn't know Jorginho plays for Flamengo, so like I'm watching the game and like, which Jorginho is this? Jorginho.
But
and I was like, how
fascinating about
Jorginho.
How some of the biggest teams that ended up in the tournament, it's and look,
which teams are you? Which outside of Inter Miami, who's not supposed to be there?
No, not who's not supposed to be there, but there's a general theme about the teams who ended up at this exact tournament, given the funding of the tournament. So when you look at that PSG are there, Al Hilal, and then you look at Chelsea and Sundowns and Inter Miami, it's all Blesser FC.
No, it's the winning teams outside of Inter Miami. I don't know.
Man
PSL,
City.
I don't know. Is Sundown still running the PSL?
No, they are still running. Sundowns have won the last God knows how many league titles, bro.
There you go. So Sundowns, we know why they're there. Al Ali, I always hear about them in the African Champions League final every other year, if not every year. We know why they're there. PSG, nothing to say there. Chelsea, the justification was the Champions League win. City, same story, league and Champions League. Who else is there?
No, I'm not disputing that.
They give Ronaldo fits every year. No, he won against them out of 5 times. So
I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that at all. I'm just saying that the way football has trended, it just so happened that a lot of the successful teams in this day and age are those teams.
I mean, to be fair, if they did it like the next one, I would expect Liverpool to be there. I don't know about Arsenal because you have to win some shit. So I don't know if Arsenal will get the invite, but again, they still have a few years to win something, right? But I don't expect Chelsea, unless Chelsea win and come back as holders. I would be shocked if Chelsea's at the next Club World Cup. Absolutely shocked.
Yeah. Look, I felt for I think FIFA may have missed an opportunity in some respects, because I think you also miss a lot of kids when you don't have like Lamine Yamal there, because he's like the biggest star right now. So maybe the next time they'll think about it, they'll come back better, and maybe it'll make a bit more sense. Maybe you make it more league winners instead of Champions League winners, because how many teams will win the Champions League in the next 4 years?
But which leagues? Now you want the winner of the Ethiopian League to be now there? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think.
But the World Cup is like, so you seed it, right?
Yeah.
So I even think they might benefit from having, instead of preseason friendlies, you have Club World Cup qualifiers, where you say the top whatever teams in England go play the teams of whoever and as Club World Cup. I don't know how you do it. Or you use some sort of coefficient.
Clubs like if United is this United, for example, then they never qualify. You want a situation where United gets in, right?
No. But if they don't qualify, then it's fine, right? If then but you increase the scope of opportunity for more teams to get in. Because if you say it's going to be Champions League winners that go from Europe, right? I mean, that's why, or it's the finalists as well. Is that why PSG were there?
No, I think PSG, I don't know. I thought it was league. I thought it was league and Champions League. I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know. Then I have to look up the criteria, because I guess Liverpool were trumped by the fact that the two teams ahead of them won the Champions League. I don't know, because we won them after Liverpool, right? So we won ours after Liverpool. City won theirs after us.
Because there's a reason why Barca aren't there.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we can look it up and discuss, but we do need to move on because you've got some information that you need to tell me. What was the Club World Cup criteria?
What was the?
This thing is saying Chemical Weapons Convention, because I put CWC.
CWC, chemical weapons.
Yo, these guys are gonna get me in trouble, Pilla. Okay, so there's a 12-minute video. The Athletic did one for 1 minute. Okay, we can do that one. We can do that. Let me just quickly share. I promise people we will move on from the football. Yeah, there we go. Oh man, I don't know if there was. Let me stop sharing. Include sound. There we go. All right.
How does the Club World Cup work, and how much money could teams in it earn? Well, the competition will...
You can hear that, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Now be a 32-team tournament held every 4 years in the summer, and there are 12 places for European teams, with 3 going to the most recent Champions League winners, and the other 9 being decided by UEFA coefficients. South America gets 6 teams, while North America, Africa and Asia all get 4, and Oceania gets 1. Competition hosts, the USA, get an extra spot, which this year has gone to Lionel Messi's Inter Miami. 8 groups of 4 will take place in a round-robin format before a round of 16, quarterfinals and so on. But the prize money is the competition's real draw. Tallies range from $1 million for a group stage draw to $40 million for winning the final. And clubs will also get a healthy pot just for taking part. That money varies wildly based on the sporting and commercial criteria though. The Athletic have estimated that Manchester City will benefit from this the most, with a $38.2 million participation fee, meaning that Pep Guardiola's side could earn $155.825 million if they go all the way this summer. How does the Club World Cup...
So, Mr. Moy, your question has been answered. UEFA coefficient, which I have never liked it. It's worked for us, but it's also not worked for us in the past as Chelsea. So yeah, I again, that makes sense. But then again, the coefficient, my only critique of the coefficient is that it's behind time, right? It's not real time it's not a real-time snapshot of the best teams in Europe right now, right? Otherwise, your Liverpools would be in it, your Arsenals would be in it, and stuff like that. So, again, yeah. So I hope that makes sense, Mr. Moy.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. No, Suzanne.
Right.
We'll see how the next one goes.
Oh yeah, all right. We are down the rabbit hole. I figured I would just check the coefficients for 2024, 2025, and I'll give you the top 10 clubs in Europe right now.
Okay.
Real Madrid is the number one club in Europe. Manchester City at 2, Bayern Munich at 3, Liverpool at 4, Manchester United at 5. No, I'm joking. I was wondering if you'd have a reaction. PSG at 5, Inter at 6, Chelsea at 7, Dortmund at 8, Roma at 9, Barcelona at 10. Oh, Manchester United at 11. So Manchester United and Arsenal are 11 and 12. So, hey, where's Spurs? Spurs is 27th. Yo.
What cycle is this based on?
This is 2024, 2025.
Okay. Oh, there was an FA Cup win in there.
Probably.
Does that contribute to the coefficient?
It's so they do it on points, I think, from the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons. So basically, it's your performance across the last 5 years is what they're looking at, which is why I think Chelsea is ranked so high. Because
so there's a Champions League win in the last 5 years.
Exactly. So 2021, we've got 33 points, whereas only other team with more points than us in the top 10 is Manchester City in 2021. Madrid is 26 to Chelsea's 33. Right, Dortmund is 22 to Chelsea's 33, that kind of thing. PSG has 24 points compared to Chelsea's, 33. But then, I don't know where we have a net score of 0. Did we do nothing last year? Damn, that's so sad. So we have 33, 25, 21, and 30, right? And then that's given us a net score of 109. So that's how the coefficient works at the end of the day. So okay. There's so basically UEFA calculates the coefficient of each club season based on the club's results in the UEFA Champions League, UEFA Europa League, and UEFA Conference League. The season's coefficients from the 5 most recent seasons are used to rank the clubs for seeding purposes. In addition, the season coefficient from the 10 most recent seasons are used to calculate revenue club coefficients for revenue distribution purposes only. Okay, cool. So basically, if you're not in Europe, you're not here. The 3 European competitions is effectively what it is. So anyway, myth busted. I hope this was very informative for anyone listening.
We give thanks.
Let us quickly touch base on. Let's get to the good shit. General Mkwananzi, Mr. Moy, what exactly happened? I heard something that a police minister is corrupt, and then the general said stop it, and then. So could you kindly give us some context as to why General Mkwananzi is trending over the last few days?
It's a film, Mr. Maposa, this thing. Like sometimes you think you've watched The Wire, right? I've watched The Wire, and
1 or 2 episodes, but I'm more of a CIA or CSI guy.
Really? Okay, you should watch The Wire. So I watched The Wire. You need to watch The Wire. I think you.
I just know it's got that black guy who goes shit.
It's really good. I think it's one of the greatest series of all time. The Wire, Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, really, really good. So in it, there's a lot of like police corruption, which you're like, hey, this is rough. But you know sometimes the corruption happens. You sometimes when you hear it from other police accusing other police on TV, it's like how you never expect it anywhere in the world, I think.
So is this general a military general?
No, so he's a general. He's a deputy commissioner from KZN, right? And for the last couple of years, if you've paid attention to like news, he's the one who's been, I think, taking a very hard hand on crime in KZN. So to a point where if you are, I don't know, a criminal or whatever, him and his team are like shoot to kill, right? They don't play. They find you, they kill you. There's a lady who was kidnapped and murdered a few weeks ago. They found the guy in an apartment, they shot him dead because apparently he shot at the police. So he's that kind of cop. A few months ago, apparently, he alleged that the task force he was working in, which was investigating police killings, was shut down. And it was shut down on instructions, as he says, from the Minister of Police, because they were investigating criminals and murders. Some murders linked to high-profile musicians in South Africa and in Gauteng. Some murders, linked to very, very violent crimes of politicians and traditional leaders. And he went on like a whole thing. This is on Sunday morning, by the way, right? So imagine Sunday, imagine Durban, July, Saturday, you've been grooving Gumnandi, you wake up Sunday morning, generals on TV, he's like press conference. And he's like, yeah, the Minister of Police is corrupt. And they shut down a task force that was investigating his friends. That's the long and short of it. So now imagine the whole of Sunday is the Minister of Police panicking, putting out statements saying he's fabricating stories. Today he released another statement saying, no, I actually know some of the guys who were mentioned, but then they're just comrades. I've never asked or received anything from them. Cyril wasn't around. So they're like, hey,
Brazil or some shit, right?
He's in BRICS, right? They're like, hey, Cyril, and Cyril just goes, oh no, I'll attend to this matter in my return. I call for calm. So that's what happened, Mr. Maposa. So General Mkhwanazi basically apparently alleged that there's corruption. The Minister of Police is corrupt. The Deputy Minister is as corrupt. And they are all working with drug syndicates to shut down investigations. And he was sharing WhatsApps, bro. Like, it was like, there's a WhatsApp here from this day, from this person on this day, and this criminal on this day. And yeah, I don't know what happens from here. These are things where in normal countries, people resign as soon as it happens. But I don't know.
So what's the situation on the ground? How are the people feeling?
I think when someone says something like this, I don't know. I don't even know what to compare it to. November 2017, or was it October 2017, when the generals went on ZBC to say there's bad people surrounding the president. I won't say it's the same. It's definitely not the same. But South Africa has a history of this. There's a history of police ministers and police commissioners being corrupt and resigning. So a part of it isn't really surprising, but a lot of it is like, right, if these are the things that are happening, heads must roll. And now it's no longer the old ANC, it's Sebeko GNU, right? So politically, there's a lot more eyes in government.
Yeah.
And I read a very interesting article the other day where someone alleged that we must stop thinking of corruption and state capture and these things as things that happen in this moment today, where Maposa offers Senna a cold drink to do something. No, Maposa and Senna went to school. They are friends. They keep in contact over the years, and then eventually, when I'm in the liberation movement, Maposa saves my life. Eventually, I become Minister of Police, and then Maposa asked me for a favor. Apparently, that's how some of these relationships happen.
Of course. Yeah, that's standard. That's standard across the world. It's almost similar. You look at it with these Tongan athletes, right? Professional athletes, where they'll have a posse, right? They'll have a crew of owns around them, typically hangers on, who bring absolutely it's not the agent, it's not a PR guy, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, these are the people that you have normally in a team who do something. These are just people who are just there to chop your money because, hey, boots through high school and this and that. So in the political space, I assume it's similar. So and so helped with this, or so and so saved your life, and this and that. Send soldiers to your house, and also anybody didn't kill you, because it's an investment. They know, what, Senna's up and coming. If Senna knows about his law shit, and I foresee if things go right, Senna will become a justice, at some point. Then guess what? I'm going to do you some favors, knowing that I'm going to collect one day.
Guys, I'm not going to be a judge, please.
So that's how it is.
If you guys are looking at me saying one day, I have bad news.
No, that's honestly, that's how it is at the end of the day, where people look at something and they'll be like, you know what? 6 foot weights could blow up at some point. And, like, if I just keep keying there on Twitter and I'll do this and I'll do that, you know what I mean? Like, people think about that, like, time, talent. There's everyone makes business decisions that way because you want access to other things. So now, if you Cyril is now president, there's people who've been done favors because Cyril's in power. That's just how it is. Same thing, if you put the DA in power, there'll be some people would be very, very happy because they're like, that energy tender is mine because I've been funding the DA's campaigns for the last 5 years. So shit like that is what I'd say is standard, unfortunately. But I would, in South Africa's case, honestly, across the board in Africa, I would love for the standard to be GNUs, because governments of national unity, they expose a lot. It's easy to hide and lie when we're all on the same team, right? If it's me, you, it's, Tinto and the Twimbos, and we can have a boys club and do what we want. Yeah. But then now we add in this random podcast from South Africa and another random podcast from Kenya and Nigeria, then it's very difficult to do dodgy things, because now those Nigerian guys don't see things how we see things, or maybe the Kenyans are not corrupt at all. They want to do the right thing. So
I think the funny story is I was just reading an article on it yesterday or over the weekend as well about how this thing happened. When they established the commission to investigate the killing, the political killing, so it's like Tabo's running for mayor and whatever, next thing Tuchu is shot. There was a lot of that happening in South Africa a few years ago. So Mkhwanazi was leading that task team in KZN, right? So it was just in Durban, right? And then I think there was a team in Gauteng, in Joburg, that is like, Chief, we're struggling with something, we need help. And then they got Mkhwanazi's team to come and help. Next thing, Mkhwanazi's team starts investigating, I think, and looking at the wrong things. So that's where, I guess, that thing that you're referring to, where if it's us by ourselves, it's fine. But the moment the KZN guys came to start looking at, what's going on here? It looks like they uncovered like a whole level of corruption, which was insane, which went right up to the Minister of Police, so they say.
Hey. I think, again, disappointing, but am I surprised? No.
Nah.
I'm just glad that this type of stuff is coming up. At least if some of these things start to get exposed, um, you know, again, the more eyes on it, the better. I know corruption will never be, eradicated in any space, African or any other part of the world. But my ask has always been, like Zaman something, like steal like 30 to 40% at least. Let the rest do what it's supposed to do. I'm willing to see it.
Yeah.
Even worst case, let's do 50-50, right? But you can't tag all the sheets or next thing says because we need to put this person there because of this and that. Like that kind of stuff, I really don't like it.
It needs to stop.
So yeah, it has to stop. So hopefully, these type of task forces, like I've enjoyed seeing, even though that the colored guy that we were praising the other week, Kanyangani, is a bit of a Popeye. I've liked those type of attacks, and commissions of inquiry. Hey, where's the man? You paid 100,000 rand to consultants. What consult? You know what I mean? Like, and when did you see the one? I think it was the Netball Commission or something like that in South Africa, and they were asking, where are these sheets? And the lady was just there, like, wait, let me check the documents. You look like a proper tutor, bro. When it's so obvious that this money was mismanaged, right? And then the poor soul, send us the poor soul we send out there to the commission to answer the questions. It's like, bro, I enjoy those videos so much because at least someone is paying, like because chowing with no consequence is tough, especially if you're a person that's trying to make ends meet in that country. You would be mad, like it's not proper, but anyway.
I mean, South Africa will go through this. I mean, this will be another state capture commission.
Yeah.
Remember Manisha Kagaba's wife, when the money wasn't there anymore, she was the first to be a testee, to be a witness, to testify at the thing.
Yeah. Speaking of, right, more serious matters. Can I address him properly? Tongue judgment.
I think it's Judge Mbenenge.
Yes, that's what I saw. Judge Mbenenge. Like I said, guys, when the problem is that when you've done something and you've now been caught, and it's now time to understand and to uncover what has been said or what did you do. Oh man, like it's some of the funniest shit that you'll ever see, because it's just like, how do you even explain? But yeah, you have the context of stuff. So what exactly? What is he being accused of, with who? And then I think we can unpack the situation from there. Let me load up the video as well, part of the test.
So Judge Mbenenge, he's the judge president of the Eastern Cape Division. So each high court in South Africa is like a judge president. So in Pretoria there's one, in Joburg there's one, and in the Eastern Cape there's one. In the Western Cape there's one as well. So he is facing a sexual harassment claim. So he's a judge. And I think a secretary accused him of sexual harassment. So in it, she says that he was repeatedly harassing her sexually, both in person and over the phone through WhatsApp messages, right? So she's like, he sent many, many messages, including requests for nudes, photos, sexual innuendo with emojis, peach emojis, dripping syringe emojis. She says that she repeatedly said no, at one point even quoting a Bible verse. But then he has argued that no, context matters, and the context of their conversation, they were flirting. And it's been interesting because, he's been on the stand. So I think you've probably seen some of the clips from her testimonies over the last few months. So she would be there testifying about what happened and some things, and she was under cross-examination. So now he's come to give his testimony, and he's testifying for himself, and he's answering the questions. And he's going through his WhatsApp messages to explain why he believes it's not sexual harassment. And this has been fascinating, Mr. Maposa. I think I've been sending you all the clips from the whole thing since then.
So, a great segue. So now I would like to enter in evidence into the court. So effectively, what's happening in this commission is that, my man, people are going through the DMs. So the DMs, guys, have been printed, and now the honorable judge has to explain where they say, Lapa, what did you mean? So I'll play two clips. I think one will be slightly longer than the other. Right. I think we'll start with this one. Is this the... Okay. No, let's do this one. And what's dusting me about this item is that he's this is the same one. Okay. Is his accent. That's the funniest part of all of this. Is his accent. That he basically sounds like your dad. You know what I mean? Like, he's got that proper accent where it's just like, now with the subject matter, it makes it all so much worse.
Can I tell you, for people who are listening who may not know what he looks like, the visual was just so off, because he has he doesn't have gray hair, he has white hair. So just think of, like,
he looks like, again, because of what we're talking
Walter
about.
Sisulu. You know, like,
who's Walter Sisulu?
That ANC politician from Mutala. He had like really, really white hair, like white.
I was going to say, he looks like someone's dad. Oh, okay, cool. I see what you mean. He looks like someone's dad, almost in terms of the hair. The hair only is what I'm talking about. But
grandpa, bro, not even dad.
Yeah. How old is this buddy?
I think he's in the 70s.
Okay. All right. Anyway, guys, here we go.
We're talking about JP in the context of what you call to the tribunal sensual
Indeed,
talk.
That is so, sensual talk.
Thank you.
Hence, I'm asking, uyabilisa, umenza umntu abile, do you cause somebody to sweat? Then the answer is of significance. 2242, principle, ungandibuzi ithini. Don't ask me, there's a principle in this. Then, in response to that, at 1213.
Sorry, interpreter, you want to say that? Are we still fine, consistent?
We're still fine, very much consistent.
Thank you. All right.
Principle ungandibuzi ithini.
Oh, so I didn't clock this the first time. So the interpreter is there to make sure that the translations are correct.
Yes. The interpreter is there to make sure
even funnier.
So one of the, and this is where I'm happy that you paused here. This is one of the things that I think makes this case so fascinating and challenging. One of the cross-examiners is an Afrikaans woman, right?
Okay.
And some of the messages are in Xhosa.
Yeah.
So they have very, very specific context. And sometimes, like, you read a message and I'll be like, oh, I see how in Xhosa you would mean it that way, right?
Yeah.
But now you're translating it to an Afrikaans woman from Xhosa to English.
It doesn't work.
It's a disaster. Like, there's a lot of...
Anyway, let's keep going.
Go on.
Then at 2242, at page 1213, I say, we both know everything. Now, in the context of this flirtatious talk, it is more about, well, we know that if we meet, we might melt, and one thing could then lead to the other. In the context of the invitation for us to meet face to face or meet physically. So then I say at 2242, well, I'll be amenable. Then the response is laughter from her side, 2244. Then I say to her,
JP, when you say you would be amenable to?
Ungandibuzi ithini, in other words, uyabilisa, which is what I had asked at 2242. as a sequel to a statement, so bila kwangoku kuse-early. I was simply saying, I will be flexible, I will do whatever. If we've got to, in spite of what had been said, I'll be flexible, I'll be amenable. And then she laughs at that, and then it is in that context that I say, Bendiza kupale, I was going to give you this, and then she says I must rephrase that, obviously because there's a misspelling there of P.
Can you read that? Yeah.
Bendiza ku H-O-A-L-E, H-A-L-E, Bendiza kupale, which I was trying to say. When she says, please rephrase.
Can I get to the interpreter when you say Bendiza kupale? Interpreter. Hello.
I'm saying the spelling itself is incorrect. Bendiza ku H-O-H-A, le.
As it stands now, with that spelling mistake, it means what? Nothing.
Nothing.
Thank you.
We've got to give it some meaning, and I'm saying Bendiza kupale.
Okay.
Then she says,
let's hear the interpreter.
Bendiza kupale, the director of that translation would be, I was going to give you this.
Thank you, JP. You may proceed.
She then at 22:45 says, rephrase. And then 22:45, I think the messages may have crossed one another, but what is important is there's a peeled banana there, to which she laughs, and I ask, when ubuza unphandoni? In other words, I'm saying, I was going to give you something nice. I could have sent a chocolate. I could have sent anything that people, when they meet, would love to share.
Let's hold there, JP. Let's hold there.
I conveyed not necessarily a penis, but I can't dispute that it could mean that. Let me explain myself. It is something that is going to uplift her spirits as a person who is depressed.
This should have been behind closed doors.
It really should have. I'll play the last clip, because what are we doing to the Lappy, bro?
Can I interject, JP, please? I'm at pains to understand the context of this conversation. 12:01.
At 12:01.
Yes, please bear with me. I'm a bit lost. Was it a sexual conversation, or what was it all about?
Deeply sensual.
So when Mengo says, "Rie into ento,"
when I say, especially, I want to hear you, especially in relation to the rear position. This is me talking at 0405.
So rear position means what in this context?
In this context, it's about a position, a sleeping position.
Sexual sleeping, okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So this conversation is deeply sensual. She's asked about that position at 0405, 0406. She laughs. And then I asked, am I wrong in so saying? She says tu, which means not at all. And that is the context. Thank you, Honorable Member.
Thank you.
Also, I have a question about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think tu. Is that correct? The tu part of it.
What did he say? Sorry?
He said, what the fuck did he say? He said, Uti, the auntie has made the whole reference to the sexual position, and then she laughs and she responds with tu. Well, he says, is that something wrong? And she says tu. And he's saying that means not at all.
I think he could be right, but it could be
no. Tu is like, I don't know. At least
is like
the way I've understood it has been in a IA type of context.
No, that's you. That's you. You different
I
from.
feel like tu is the. I don't know. I'll ask the Queen, even though I don't know how I'll introduce the topic. But yeah.
I think tu would be a slightly different in Xhosa. We need to find a Xhosa person to clarify this for me.
Yeah, I'm interpreting it from a Sotho point of view. So maybe that's why I was kind of like, huh? But yeah, I get your point about the whole translating all of this stuff it's not going to land exactly the same,
bro.
Which gives him an
irrespective
advantage
of...
as well, right? Because it could help him at the end of the day.
Because you're now looking for sexual harassment through a sexual harassment case. Although it could, I don't think it benefits him actually, because now you're looking at texts where he is now trying to contextualize messages where he sent a banana emoji to a junior member of staff, right? So if you then read into that, basically, you'll be like, without contextualizing, you'll go, this is, it's like, this is not the same. And I reckon, for him, it's important that there's context. Whereas for someone else, it might be a bit difficult.
100%. And it goes back to that the Bill Burr joke that we always reference, right? Which we are now reading it in court, and she says, "No, stop it." Like it's that same type of context where me and you are watching the video and we're like, bad. You know what I mean? So that's where it gets a little bit tricky, because how do you add the right context to that at the end of the day? So management has said we've got 10 minutes to wrap this up. But that's where it's a bit difficult. For again, we don't have the full context of the evidence and all that kind of stuff, but you almost do feel somewhat bad for a man that old to now start explaining what he was saying and the meaning behind it all. It's without her testimony, which I haven't heard or seen, right? Just looking at a random old Bali having to explain text messages, it's just kind of like, bro. Like, I get why you said behind closed doors, right? Because it's just, man. What are you doing? I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if it's the accent or what. Like, something about it was just making me laugh. Where I was like, it's got to be serious, bro. But I mean, unfortunately, with the Lalas, this is how they be talking, right? When they chat to girls that could be interested, or they think they're interested, or whatever the case is, that it's very cringe at the end of the like there was a lot of stuff that he was saying was 100% like, hey, bro, this is cringy as fuck. But unfortunately, I guess he didn't think you'd ever get to a place where he needs to explain that in court, right?
He actually tried to sue her for releasing the WhatsApps. He was devastated. I mean, he's also married with like a family, of course, as well. So this is
so he's suing her for
embarrassing.
What? He's suing her for what?
No, initially he sued her for releasing, private messages, his private messages. So that was his initial reaction when she released the texts. His whole thing has been that he's being sabotaged by people who want his job, because he feels that as judge president, there's people who want him out of the way. That's his side of the story. Her side is he's a senior member of staff who was harassing her on WhatsApp and in person. So it'll be interesting to see how this unravels. But it is like, dog, it should have been behind closed doors. On top of that, yes, fine, it's important because it's the judiciary, so justice must be seen being done. So there's a thing now in South Africa where it's like, with judges, it must be transparent. We need to see what they are doing so that we trust in them. That whole thing we spoke about last week, Uguti, in the US, it's a jury system. In South Africa, it's a panel of judges, and we need to always apparently make sure that these people are the best we have. They're not biased. They are not harassers. They're not abusers. So I guess that's why they're like, no, it will be played out in public. But my gosh.
But you know what? I see, I was going to say, I see parallels with like, I forgot how I was going to make this connect. But I was going to say, I think that there needs to be, I don't know if there is or not at this point, but if I'm a company or in an organization, right, where there's senior leadership that is old and interacting with young professionals who are analysts, researchers, or whatever it is, right? I think there needs to be regular and strict sort of trainings that are done with the senior leadership to say, hey, bruh, if you're a Bali who's in his 60s, 50s, 70s, whatever it is, there's no way that it's ever going to look good to have some form of relationship or whatever. You have to, like, I wouldn't even talk to the young people to be like, there's liability on you. It's a, and there's no way you will come out not looking weird, even if the young person flirts with you, right? Because there's some people who would be like, oh yeah, I'm going to flirt or sleep my way to the top or whatever it is, right? I'm going to schmooze and be super nice, right? It might not even be sexual, but I'm just going to schmooze, right? And kiss ass. And you interpret that in another type of way. But I think they just, that needs to be implemented to be like, hey, you will be on TV explaining why you were texting this laity 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it needs to be put that way so that these guys understand, because I feel like people end up taking chances unnecessarily. Whereas now you're busy suing some person because, hey, she released text and whatever. What do you expect from a young individual? I don't know how young this lady was, but this is, if I heard, like, for example, let's say she's a 2K, 100% I would not be shocked that a 2K was like, screw it, I'm releasing all the messages. I would not be shocked.
Yeah.
So this woman, you know, it's just not going to look good.
Yeah.
Once you have power and influence, you will never look like the victim if you are the one with the power or the influence.
Which is the essence of what this case is all about, right? So it's all about control and abuse of power. So beyond Oguti, she's an age of consent. So then his whole argument, like if you listen to his explanations, he goes on and he says, oh no, she didn't say no. I sent my emoji, I sent the banana emoji, I said this, as she never said no. And then what the cross-examiner is saying is, no, but chief, you're the judge president.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
You are the judge president. So
yeah,
do people say no to you, like generally, like at work? Like, does it happen? I don't think so.
Yeah.
You know, that's where the whole abuse of power thing comes from. So like I said, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how this goes, because his whole thing is, and everyone alleges a conspiracy nowadays. His whole thing is a conspiracy. Bang Sugela.
I wanted to get your thoughts really quickly before we wrap up on. Let me quickly pull it up. Just some fallout from the Diddy, trial, right? So obviously there was a lot of reaction at the end of the day with regards to him getting charged only on the prostitution charges, and the other 3 where he was found not guilty. So this was a post that I saw with someone, because Combs joins a long line of powerful, famous men who have allegedly engaged in abuse, yet face minimal consequences, right? So I saw a lot of posts similar to, to that, right? In that ilk, talking about, they're not protected, and, it's domestic violence is not taken seriously in the world, and, all that kind of stuff, which, while I agree with that on the surface, that not enough is done, and not enough people are prosecuted for that. One thing that I feel is not necessarily being talked about enough, right? Where I think me and you agree in terms of Diddy should have gone to jail, or should go to jail, for a very, very long time, if not life, right? Based on what is alleged, and at least what was testified to, right? From the victims, 110%. However, I have personal critique of the prosecution, of like, and I touched on it last week, where it's like, guys, you have to win the case. This is not the time to be either overcharging or overcomplicating a case, because at the end of the day, what we want is to lock this guy up, right? That's what the victims deserve, at the very least. But putting it in a place where for weeks, people are going back and forth like, Brad, does this thing really make sense? You know, to the point where he gained sympathy from a lot of people, because also you should know the dynamics of America, which is black people, no matter how rich or poor or famous they are, tend to be overcharged. They tend to have the book thrown at them, right? And there's a lot of people doing a lot of time for crimes where white people wouldn't do that many years, right? So once you have people looking at it through that racial lens of, oh, why is it a RICO? This, and that, like they, you know what I mean? Like once that starts to happen, and all of a sudden this, you know, potential criminal is now being, you know, has sympathizers being like, no, send him to jail for the right thing, right? Let's not trump up charges and not do 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where, for me, I think the prosecution has to also fess up and be like, we dropped the ball. That's where because again, domestic violence victims 110% deserve what's this called? Justice. That's a non-starter, right? That's not there's no conversation that's had, you know, saying the opposite. But I don't know. I think I'm a lot of my frustration is on the prosecution. Like this, you had evidence, you had people, you had witnesses, you had all these things. Like it's not like it was a scanty case, right? And
there was a lot.
There was a lot.
But then, like I said,
all
the stuff that we spoke about the last time, and we said, I mean, like I spoke beginning of this episode about The Wire. You know, I've watched The Wire. I've watched The Sopranos. I've watched, you know, The Wire and The Sopranos are interesting because I think a lot of it borrows from real life, especially The Wire. The Wire is based on like real detective stories that were happening in Baltimore around the time.
Yeah.
You realize, and even Power, you realize how much it takes to put together like a RICO case. Like it's serious stuff. Yeah. Like investigations spanning years and years, and even to bring it to court, it must be like a lot. So this one was wrapped up very, very quickly with Ciara as one of the first
Cassie
witnesses.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, sorry. It's been a long day. Cassie. It has been a long day. My apologies. Yo.
You're excused. It's okay.
Thank you.
I get you.
Thank you. That was bad. That was very, very bad of me.
Yeah, these ads are very annoying. But I think so. Where, you know, because obviously we don't have time to unpack this fully. But I just think, yeah, huge misstep in finding a way. That's like stealing defeat from the jaws of victory. Finding a way to have Diddy sympathizers who go, hey, there's a history of black men being overcharged, and this is one of ours. He's a piece of shit, but he's our piece of shit. I ended up seeing a lot of that sentiment of charge him, he can go to jail, but let him go to jail for the crimes that he has committed. And the way that, because again, with you know, law and all that kind of stuff, you have to create a case and a narrative and all this other stuff. I get it. That's how the system is set up. But there were that sort of similar, not fully, you know, the same, but there were similar strokes to OJ in a way, right? Where it very quickly became, you know, state versus black man, you know, and the more it became that, the less the victims mattered, the less what actually happened mattered. And then it just became which team are you repping, right? Which to me, I don't think is the right way for things to go ahead. Because also, I think there's a lot of people out there who, and actually I saw tweets talking about, I honestly couldn't care less what the charges were. I just want him in jail, right? Which is also a dangerous precedent to be like, yeah, we know, I understand the legal system where if we haven't caught you for X crime, you can't go to jail for that crime, right? But at the same time, if we know you're a bad man, but we haven't caught you, you know, should we just pick any charge and lock you away? Those are some of the things that I was thinking about. And like, are people wrong to be like, no, this guy should be locked up? I don't care. The evidence didn't stick. You know what I mean? In this case,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, sure, that's something that, people can contemplate. However, the problem with the way law works, right, is that once you set that precedent, then there's a lot of people who will be screwed because of that precedent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, and people don't want to. You don't want to have a society. I don't want to have a society where dodgy precedents are set. I'm just saying, arrest him for the shit that he did, where it's like dead to rights. Boom. So again, I wouldn't be. It's unlikely. Apparently there's sentencing guidelines where, as per what he's charged with, usually it's like anywhere from time served to 2 to 4 years, something like that, on each count, on which the counts can be served simultaneously because it's the same crime. So for a normal human being for this crime could get a year, for example, in prison, right? Or even come out on time served because he's been in prison for a year. Is that going to be justice? I say no. But is that the law and how it should work? I guess yes, because you don't want to sentence a first-time offender, for for 20 years, because it could go up to 20 years. But the sentencing guidelines go against that. Then you have the OJ situation where he got 17, 18 years in prison because of a charge that really wasn't it, because they couldn't get him on the real charge, which was the murder charge. Yeah, well, so I don't know. It's all kind of, where are your moral compasses pointing, But yeah,
there will be more to come about this specific story. I'm sure we'll hear a lot more.
Definitely.
But I mean, it speaks to, we're speaking about, corruption and all of those things. I wouldn't be surprised if this is an act for us. It's a performance. And the actual deals about what happens to Diddy have been done.
Yeah, I mean, the conspiracy theory
side
of me, I can believe that. Like, it's really ever about justice, which is the sad part about it, right? So to us, the public, it's served up as justice, and we're trying to do the right thing, but unfortunately, there is an underbelly of other dealings as to why certain things are happening, especially when the powerful are involved, right? It's rarely ever black and white.
Exactly.
In those cases, hands have been shaken and all that, etc. It's if you believe that, I wouldn't be like, no, you're totally wrong. There's a chance that is the case. But anyway, Mr. Moore, I think we need to leave it there.
Yes, I need to go and pick up my vehicle.
Okay. Yeah, so will you want of it, or it's just service?
No, service.
Okay. It's good. It's nice. Yeah, guys, y'all know what it is. Like the thing, subscribe to the thing, retweet the thing, and if you don't, we're inclined to believe y'all some haters. Mr. Moore.
Latest.